Going on YouTube? What's up, Raider Nation? I'm Bubba the Raider coming at you tonight. It is the eve of the 2024 NFL Draft. It is my favorite time of the year, and I am getting really excited. So I was going to come on here, do maybe a mock draft or two, what could happen, what I think should happen tomorrow, and kind of talk about where the Raiders are at. Tomorrow's round one. I'll be straight up honest. I say this, I feel like I say this every year more and more, and it's kind of sad, but I usually spend more time scouting than I was able to this year. And it really kind of sucks because this year really seems like a super solid draft class. I'll also say it's fun to go back over the past years and kind of look at some of the predictions I've made in these kind of things. Um, but uh, they're not realistic, right? Like I saw one that I took Terry McLaurin a few years back in like the sixth round. I'm like, yeah, that's a great pick. He's not a sixth rounder. And so, um, you know, just keep that in mind. All right. So I'm going to do a mock draft for the Raiders, 7 rounds. Let's just kind of see how this plays out. I'm not going to trade. I know that that's a thing that people want to talk about. If I was going to trade right now, I think I would trade back. And like this might be one of those situations. Actually, I might take them up on this. Hold on. Looking around here, you know what I am going to do is I am going to take them up on that. I don't think that that's realistic, but I think getting the ability to move back from 13 7 spots, and then you give up a 7th round pick, but you get one more in the third, I think that would be ideal. That's 8 spots. So let's accept that, and let's kind of see. I mean, obviously, I would take that 2 to move back 3. But I'm not going to. All right, so looking at what's available, I really think the Raiders can go one of 3 ways. And one of them I'm leaning more towards. I think the Raiders can go offensive tackle. This offensive tackle crew is incredible. It seems like one of the deeper offensive linemen and offensive tackle groups I've seen. They could go corner, which there's a couple really good ones at the top. And then, of course, they could go quarterback. And that's just the first round. Also, like, best player available, obviously. Like, if someone falls, if like Marvin Harrison Jr. fell or something, like, you snatch him up. I think in this case, looking at who's available, like Dallas Turner won't be there. I think he's going to go to Atlanta. J.C. Latham might be there. Like, that's a good pick. We need a right tackle so desperately, so badly. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to cave. I'm going to give in to what everyone else wants to give in to. And I'm going to take Michael Penix here. I think moving back to 21 and getting him is incredible. I don't think that's going to happen. I will also say I am a massive Oregon Ducks fan. So I love Bo Nix. And I had the opportunity to watch Michael Penix live. Played, against Oregon. The kid is, or the grown old man, he is the truth. He is legit. And I really have been picturing him with the Raiders all year. So I'm going to go Michael Penix. Yeah. I'm not going to do any more trades. I really don't think the Raiders are going to trade up or back. Okay. Looking at this. Yeah, Christian Haynes is going to be my pick. Can already tell you that guy right there. I think it's not going to surprise me if he sneaks into the first round tomorrow. He is an absolute stud. But let me just look and make sure I'm not. It's my boy Troy. I love him. Yeah, I'm going to take Christian Haynes. Like, worst case scenario at that point, Christian Haynes can be our guard. I know we just signed Cody Whitehair. And why am I drawing a blank? Kid from Ohio State, played for us last year, 77. I don't know what is going on. It's been a long day, sorry. Oh, that's going to drive me nuts. I have his head. Thayer Munford. He's a solid right tackle. Like, I think we need to upgrade, but he also didn't get a chance to really take that job right off the rip. He was kind of forced to move around a lot. So I think this helps solidify our offensive line, which is something we're going to need to do if we're going to roll out with a rookie quarterback. All right. Now I'm really curious. I don't think he's here. And if he is here, wow, I can't ever say his name. They have him ranked way too low. Oh, see, this is my guy right here. I think this guy's a second round pick. So I'm going to take him. I mean, this is early. No, this is the second round. I'm going to take Blake Fisher right now. I think Blake Fisher is, I have to watch more film on him if we end up taking him. I mean, tomorrow's the draft, but I think Blake Fisher can be special. So I know that seems like a reach, but I don't think he's going to fall. It's kind of that Terry McLaurin kind of a thing that we were talking about. All right. So far we've got our offense, our quarterback, and we have our offensive line squared away. Now, I would say if we were going position, a corner, and Kamari Lassiter is a very interesting physical corner that I'm super interested in. Makes a ton of sense. A D tackle like Mason Smith, he was someone who a while back was projected to be a top 10 pick, but injuries and a down season this year. I think we have Jonathan Brooks and Blake Corum for running backs, and I think that's a position we need to address. But for the fun of it, because I think we need to fix the offense, right? Like, our defense looked all right. We've added Christian Wilkins. And I'm just going to say, for the fun of it, I am going to take Jalen McMillan right here. I'm really big on I've always felt this way, if you draft a quarterback to be the day one starter, you might as well bring in a wide receiver that he's got some connection with. And receiver is going to be a position of need in the future. And so I think, why not? See, and then you end up with, I know it's heavy offense. I was going to say I'm going to continue that, but I think T'Vondre Sweat, he got a DWI, and, that's a scary thing, but he's just so big and explosive. I think adding him, he instantly brings a big presence. Yes, this is exactly how I wanted this to work out. I love Jalen Wright. He might be I don't know if he's my favorite running back, but I think he's my favorite running back for the Raiders to pick. My favorite running back is Bucky Irvin. Like, I'm not going to lie. But Jalen Wright gives us something that I don't think we have in any of our other running backs, where, like, if you look at a Trey Benson or, Blake Corum's a little bit different. He's smaller, but those kind of like stronger running backs, with a little bit of shiftiness, like Trey Benson kind of reminds me of Kenneth Walker. But Jalen Wright gives this like crazy speed, explosive element that if you're going to have a committee, you want guys that can bring different things to the table. And Alexander Madison and Zeus are very similar in what they can do. I don't see the point of bringing in a third guy who's the same, but I like bringing in a third guy who can really give you something different, and I think Jalen Wright would be that guy. All right, 2 more picks. Now, this pick, Joe Milton, is interesting to me. I was watching some of his tape today. He's got the biggest arm I've seen since Anthony Richardson last year, maybe even more. although his tape is super inconsistent. I know Tennessee fans weren't big on him. I really like this draft. I think a position we have to address, and again, this is me going positions of need instead of best player available, but I think it's kind of worked out that the best player available for most of these has gone. They've been up in the top. I mean, it felt, according to this list, like I reached on Blake Fisher, but I don't think I did. I really think we need to bring in another tight end, maybe two, for depth. You know, we have not just one. We have Michael Mayer, we drafted last year, and we brought in Bryant this off season, Harrison Bryant. So we have two. I'm going to take Dallin Holker. I think he's a guy that had that crazy catch in the combine during the gauntlet drill, and he's someone that I think could be special. And so a third tight end is always nice. You want to be able to run 3 tight end sets. Okay. Now, looking at what I did here, I mean, that's only one non-offensive pick. Like, I think we should address corner. I think that we should be able to address all those things. There's some corners that look good, but I don't see much that I'm aware of this late. Shepard from Maryland is an interesting one. Yeah, Storm Duck, he's really fallen in this process. So, I mean, linebacker is something that eventually we'll have to address too. All right, I'm going to go with Drake Nugent, another offensive lineman. Milton's still there. We don't need. I'm going to go with another offensive lineman. I really think we need to be able to solidify this offensive line if we want to get the most out of Michael Penix, if that's the way we go. So I'm going to do that. Really wanted to take Milton, though. I was interested in that. Okay. So that's this draft. Really offense heavy, which I don't think is a mistake. I'm going to do one more. Okay. And I'm going to try and go different than quarterback in the first. We're going to see how the board falls. But I'm going to do a draft as if we were going to stick with Aiden O'Connell for the year. And Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, and what I think that could look like. So I'm going to do that right now. It's interesting to post these scenarios. There's another trade down like that. These scenarios. But if I'm rolling with Aiden O'Connell, I'm going to go ahead because I know me. I'm going to be tempted to take Blake Fisher in the second. So I'm going to take Talise Fuaga as much as it kills me to take a Beaver. Wait, my guy's gone, isn't he? Yeah, Olu Fashanu is the one I really, really want. I'm going to take Talise Fuanga. I think there's supposed to be it sounds like there's an N in there. Yeah, we got to fix that line. It's another offensive pick, I know. Okay. See, now I'm tempted to take Bo Nix, but I'm still going to roll with the idea that we are going to, we're going to roll with Aiden O'Connell, what that could look like. So we have our right tackle of the future. Frazier is an interesting pick. He can be really good. Enos Rakestraw is very interesting as well, but I'm going to go ahead and take Mike Sainristil from Michigan, a corner. He is extremely intriguing to me. And I think either him or, I I don't think they will, but it wouldn't surprise me if him or Rakestraw snuck into the first tomorrow. Yeah, see, I'm just not going to do it. Okay. I'm going to roll with Christian Mahogany, the other Christian guard. Not Christian in their faith, or maybe, I don't know, but Christian in their name. Stud, again, fixing that right side of the line is crucial. Oh, heck yeah. I like that. Now, I'm going to say I really was interested in Leonard Taylor, but I could tell from this interview he does not want to be a Raider, and I don't want to be biased, but I'm not going to take him. I'm going to take Mason Smith here. D-tackle, pair him with Christian Wilkins, and got a nice little defensive line going for us. Oh, there went my boy. Okay. What have we done? Like, I know that's not the most sexy, exciting draft, but really that's going to help everything. That's going to help everything. I like... A lot of people don't like Garindo, but I really like Garindo. I just don't know how you can't like 6'2", 230 that runs a 4.3. Isaiah Davis is interesting. More offensive line is helpful. What to do here? I'm gonna go. I like Tyrone Tracy a lot. I'm going to go with. I'm gonna go with Washington from USC. I think another wide receiver again can really be helpful here. More weapons and someone who can help out even on like special teams right now. This has been an interesting draft. What do we got? 3 more? Okay. Same kind of a thing. I know we're going tight end 3 if we go tight end, and I really like Brevin Spanford. I also like AJ Barner, but I'm going to go with Brevin Spanford here. All right, problem is I haven't addressed the running back position. So we should do that. And I don't know a ton of these guys. Mayan Williams, man, he fell. Or his stock fell, I should say. Carson Steele is someone, I feel like USC or UCLA's been just kind of pumping out a lot of the same running backs for the last 3 or 4 years. Dylan Johnson's interesting. He's a little underwhelming, but again, he's someone that I was able to look at a lot over the last 2 years or so, a year or two. I'm going to go with Kendall Milton. I think he's an explosive back who probably won't get drafted, but at this point in the draft, take a shot on some traits. I also like a nice Smith. And I think that's where we will go. I'm not opposed to taking another quarterback. Oh, I'm going to go with Frank Crum. Another offensive tackle. Depth really caught my eye at the combine. Looks pretty good. Yep, all right. So an interesting draft. I think that unless we move back and pick up a bunch of picks or a couple picks, it's going to be hard to address everything. And you know that you're like in this realm, first 3 to 4 picks, you're looking for guys to be starters and contributors early. Down in this area, you're looking for diamonds in the rough. You're betting on traits and coaching. And that's kind of what I see here. You know what I mean? Mason Smith is a guy who could come in and contribute right away. We would have to have Mahogany and Fuanga, in my opinion, start right away. And the same with Sainer still. But these guys, you can develop a little bit more. You can get them to help on special teams. So I'd say of these drafts, the one I'd be the most excited about was the first one. But I think that this one sets us up for the long haul. And even if we were to be able to trade back and be able to pick up a pick or two next year, that might help if we did not want to go quarterback this year. Then there's always the option of moving up and taking someone like Jaden Daniels, or I'm not big on JJ McCarthy. I think I kind of like the idea of what we did first. So just some ideas. Let me know what you think. I'll give you my analysis of our picks as we move through the draft. I'm excited about tomorrow. It's really interesting. It's a new era of Raider football, and I couldn't be more excited. So if you like this video, comment, subscribe. If you dislike it, leave a dislike. Let me know why you didn't like it. And as always, just win, baby.